Sagittarius, 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 Sagittarius. Oh, something is coming through. We have desert, but this is vision quest. This is a very, very important desert. And you know what? Like, this is like so appropriate for your sign because you are explorer Sagittarius. You are kind of like liking to do it. So this year 7, 2 plus 2 plus 3 is not the best fit for you, because you're exploring but on an extroverted side, like, right, Virgo is exploring on the introverted side. So that's kind of like where we have those kind of like things. So look at Kelsey. This is Sagittarius, like they are ruled by Jupiter, guys. So basically they are lucky, and that's lucky sometimes really important where you cannot get through any other way. And it's kind of like really beautiful when you see kind of like this in action working out with a sign. So we have movements, choices, and decision over here. Then we have patience reverse. This is your card. This is actually temperance, but it's reversed. So clearly 7 year is always a year that makes us kind of like think. 7 is like internal year, right? And we have to kind of like figure out. That's why I said amethyst. Well, this is not amethyst, believe it or not. This is Auralite 23, which is a combination of 23 different kind of like things. It's only found in Canada. And if I had like super 4K camera, you would see oranges, you would see a little blues, like it has lots of different colors, and it's a really, really powerful crystal to deal with. So let me see more Sagittarius. Ooh, and you got zillion cards here. You got listen, you got rest and reconsider, and what is here? Embrace, daydreams and decisions, flow, which is again the wheel of fortune, the luck showing up, and you have a heart chakra, and seek the truth. So this is going to be tricky to show all of them. I'll do my best over here. So you have 4 major arcanas. It is going to be a big and powerful year for you guys. It's going to be something, as I said, you're going to be turning a little bit inward. For you, it also seems to be connecting to love. Let me get one more here. This one wants to come in. Healing family issues. Yes, I guess what needs to be addressed with you is the flow. The flow is kind of like the word that is really, really coming to me. So it's the year number 7, and we have 2 7s, right? We also have 2 2s, and 2s are really important for relationships. So here are the choices you really need to make. And this is the High Priestess card, guys. This is like your intuitive ability that is getting like finally refined. I also feel that many Sagittarians are very skeptical about tarot, about astrology, and yet possibly they have been the one, along of course Scorpios and Aquarians, that have invented it, right? Meanwhile, you have Pisces, and they're very much into past lives, into kind of like the bridge building in between the two worlds, which I think it's getting really close to be just simply a trip that can really happen, that can really, really go. I'm already hearing that in Canada, at least, we will, like, therapists will be allowed to use DMT as a curative method. They still didn't decide how this is going to be distributed. Is it in a clinical setting? I just cannot see anything else but clinical setting. But this is the one, clearly right now, illegal drug that they call it God molecule. It kind of like, it really allows you to trip on the other side. I actually tried it once, and I was on my own. Never a good idea, especially when you don't use drugs otherwise. But I was like so intrigued to see how it is, and I swear to you, I was so scared. I did learn in NLP how to really talk myself out to any state. So even though I don't get drunk, so if I get tipsy, I can literally stand in front of the mirror and talk myself out of it. So the same thing here, it really felt like dying, and all that was going through my head was, oh my gosh, I have cats, I have obligations, I have family, I cannot let them, like they would really think this is really weird. So I talked myself out, but like it was like, like, and this is probably why it's very scary for people. You're going through dying and then you're re-emerging, and it is kind of like really, really different. Something like that, whether chemical induced or simply induced with your endorphins, is going to be happening to you, both good and bad. You'll be retrieving in the positions where you really kind of like want to find who you are. You will not allow other people to define you any longer. What is the story of your life? You'll be doing yourself. You'll be addressing the daydreams that you had for a long time. Almost like this kind of like speaks to me that you're going to do like strong desire. You're going to have this willingness to kind of like hard desires kind of coming through. So you really need to assess who is that you are and what is that you want, right? Something like needs patience which you don't have, you clearly don't have. You are kind of feeling this entire year, oh my gosh, life is short, I don't know, like, I mean, what I'm going to do, but I want to do A, B, C, D, E, F. You have a long, long, long list, and as this list you are actually addressing one by one. Embrace is a really powerful card, even though these two cards are now in oracle cards. These are actually very similar. This one shows like a wheel, and it's called Wheel of Fortune. And this one shows like a snake. It's also like circular snake biting its tail. Both of these cards have the 4 fixed signs around, because fixed signs are holding this whole thing. Like, you know, like when you are fixing something, somebody needs to hold things. So this is kind of like really showing it. So it's saying that you're finishing a cycle. You're going into what next you wanted always to do. This is not only, oh, I'm starting something next, but this is connecting with the past, because the 7 is showing through. And keep in mind that your card 14 is like 2 times 7, and you have 2s and you have 7s. So you can see like your success also depends on collaboration with somebody else, which is really interesting because you're jumping immediately into 10, the Wheel of Fortune. And if you really look the original Raider white cards, you're going to see these fixed signs here with wings in this card, and in this card would be without it. So the achievement here is totality, like it's the maximum one. And here is the process that is telling you, yes, you're lucky now, you're on top of your game, but you still need to learn. You're still going to run few wash machine cycles, kind of like things. It keeps reminding you to stay on your path, seek the truth. And you're kind of like very much into truth seeking, guys, like as it is. So what is also standing out is like this vision quest and this healing family issues. It says your love life, but I don't think it really needs to be just a love life. Benefits as you forgive your parents. It's really interesting. I'm already seeing a theme today that this is really talking about something that needs to kind of like go from inside. Being the year number 7, each one of our signs will need to kind of like really go deep and figure out, okay, which garbage I didn't clean and it's now festering and it's maybe affecting other things without even realizing. So we can really vibrate with the kind of like distant parts of the universe. So with this, you're not vibrating in a proper way. With this, you really need to figure out how to kind of like address it, right? So vision quest is usually that you take yourself out of your normal life. Depending how adventurous you are, you can simply just lock your doors and phones. And I'm doing that recently up to noon. I'm not turning on the phone or even looking at it. And I cannot tell you how much more beneficial my life is. And I feel peace, and it's not like news and bombarding of the things. But you can be as extreme and going in a desert. And like, I mean, people just like drop people in the desert for 24 hours, nothing. Like, I don't know, maybe some water is allowed. and like you really need to kind of like live with this, be subject to basically harsh conditions, right? And then learn to appreciate those hardy species that are actually really surviving, right? Flora and fauna that kind of like found a home over there, and that kind of like evolution in process, like certain things maybe took thousands or millions of years to actually thrive or survive over there, right? So going to this vision quest, it's almost like DMT. You kind of like start having visions, and that's why it's called this way. Like, I mean, Moses came to, like, I mean, mountain, and he had those visions as well that came back in those three plagues, where one was kind of like lost, right? So spending time in this manner for you is going to be very beneficial, right? So try to isolate yourself. Maybe just take some water, and maybe something that is really sacred to you, like your talismans, your protection, and just go and see what happens. You don't have to be prepared. There are no books. You just cannot entertain yourself. You just observe. That's the whole point over there. Because many who have completed a vision quest assert that is really powerful and life-changing. And I can see that you are being propelled on a completely different level. It's going to be freaking amazing, right? So just the matter is where you're going to pick it, and maybe you're going to do it numerous times, because look at this high priestess. She gets this knowledge, she gets this understanding how to do it. Here he is, it says rest and consider, again on his own. But look at the celebration. It's almost like some, it's not sacrifice, I guess that's the word that is coming to me, but I would not call it sacrifice, because you will be doing this willingly. You are achieving or achieved quite a bit, and you're kind of happy where you are. And this is right now for you a feeling that maybe you're missing something, maybe you are falling in the routine, maybe you really want to open these gates, because I don't know if you can see it here. He is choosing the like different elements, and all of them have certain appeal. Would this be new ideas and new projects? Would this be the matter of the heart? Do you want something really pragmatic? Is the money what is important? But I'm seeing that he has already, looks like, accomplished several steps. So there is like this decision, and this means that maybe some people are not going to stay in your life. Maybe they have been a result of that ill you, of that unwell you, rather to say, that have existed in order to support some idea. Sometimes when we are going through trauma, we create a world around us that sustain our solutions. So sometimes people erect big, thick walls because that's preventing them from pain. And those walls are very beneficial. But if you stay in those walls for too long, you're deprived from proper nourishment and you are not able to grow. So it is time to take down the walls, or to kind of give yourself completely new horizons. So my dear Sagittarius, you're going to have actually a wonderful year. It might be a little bit to yourself, which is not going to be fun for the other people around you, but trust me, you will be feeling a really as 2.0 version of yourself. So if you guys want your personal annual, please contact me at mysticcattaro@gmail.com, or it's down in the description. And this is going in way more details and astrological houses and all the stuff that you don't care about, but you're going to find out. All right. And as we are closing this 2022, please let me indulge you for just yet another minute. I want to thank you for being here. If you're old, if you're new, it doesn't matter. It has been, wow, 5 years already. So thank you so much for being here with me and listening to my forecasts. Coming in the future, I might have a little bit different format, because I have been feeling this transformation coming onto me. I have been seeking for something new, but it just felt like that I was meant to be a little bit suppressed for a reason that was not really clear to me. I thought must be aging or something, but now I'm actually starting to see the reasons, and I'm going to discuss it in the future. Just one more time, guys, I wish that you join us on live, which I have on Saturdays. It's 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, so both Europeans and the West Coast can join. And you know what? We also have Australia, we have India. It's freaking bloody awesome. And lastly, you know the spiel. If you want to get notifications from me, please subscribe and click on that bell thing. If you want a reading with me, contact me directly via my website, cattarot.ca, or contact me via my email. I personally respond, mysticcattarot@gmail.com. Love you, and I wish you a wonderful new year.